My family, we're different from others of our kind. We drink only animal blood, but it's your scent. It's like a drug to me. It's like you're my own brand of personal heroin. Oh, why do you hate me so much when we met? I did. Only because wanting you so much so badly. I still don't know if I can control myself. I know you can. Twilight has been a joke for a good while. It was a pop culture phenomenon for a good while. The books and the movies. And it has a strong fan base still. And I can't help but be morbidly curious. I just watched Twilight for the first time and it's not very good. It's everything that you've heard of and more. And apparently, from what I've heard over the years, the first one is the best one. And I have 4 more of these to go. So Twilight follows Bella Swan, who has moved in with her dad because her mom is traveling with her stepfather. And Bella is this sort of awkward girl that likes cars. And she is apparently not very athletic. She's very clumsy. And she meets this boy named Edward. And initially Edward is very appalled by her and she doesn't know why. And then eventually she becomes fascinated with him. And then he saves her and she finds out he's a vampire. And then we get a romance. This movie is filled with a lot of teenage angst, and I want to preface all the stuff I'm going to say by saying that this movie is clearly not for me. I honestly tried. I really tried to give it a chance. I really wanted to find just something that maybe somebody was missing, but it still kind of escapes me why this is so popular. And it's got to be more than people just laughing at it, because there are people that are really in love with this series, and God bless you. I mean, if you like it, more power to you. I was able to find some things I genuinely liked about the film. I think that the film's strength for me comes from the scenes between Bella and her dad. That relationship is really well realized, and I thought that was the strongest part of the film, and I thought the chemistry between Kristen Stewart and the actor who plays her dad was actually really well done and really beautiful. And I thought that some of the scenes where she has to lie to him because she can't tell him about the vampires, otherwise that puts him in danger, I actually felt that was really heartbreaking, and I felt that was done very well. And I really liked that part of the movie. The parts where they're eating dinner together and they're talking, I was genuinely 110% invested in those scenes. The rest of the movie, not so much. It's so self-serious, and the lines are delivered so woodenly. Oh, there's a police car. What's going on? What is that like? I want to kill you. I've never felt like killing anyone like the way I want to kill you. Edward actually says that to Bella, and she's just like, I trust you. Lady, I get it. He's hot, okay? I get it. The hair and the pale skin, and everybody in this movie's pale. Everybody looks like a vampire. It's the coloring is so bland. It's like you often can't tell who is a vampire. I don't get why it's colored that way. It's so boring to look at. At least they could have made the movie pretty, but it's not even that. It's like, hold on, Spider Monkey, we gotta look at more boring visuals. More positives. I thought the scene where Bella meets Edward's family was appropriately awkward. unfortunately, the rest of the movie is also that awkward, so the entire thing feels awkward. And I actually honestly would have liked to have seen more of her meeting her family and developing a relationship with them, because they get protective of her all of a sudden during the end of the film and it doesn't really make sense. Like, I honestly would have loved to have had a scene with them sitting down with her, because that whole part of the movie was decent enough. And then there's a baseball game, and that was out of nowhere, and I loved it. I loved every second of vampires playing baseball and Bella being the umpire, even though she can't see them because they move so fast. That it made no sense, and it was the best thing ever. I needed more stuff like that, where it's just like vampires trying to fit in and failing miserably at it, and it being like funny and kind of goofy. Like, just more of them trying to be like normal everyday people, but not understanding what baseball or other mundane human things are all about. Like, I really needed more stuff like that, but the movie's so self-serious, and it's so bland and awkward. Like, this movie was very uncomfortable to watch. The romance doesn't work. The thing that the movie stands upon doesn't work at all. There's hardly any chemistry. You don't get why these two characters are attracted to each other. Yes, you kind of get the physical aspect of it. I understand that Edward likes how Bella smells, and he likes to watch her sleep, but it's weird. The whole thing's freaking weird. And no kidding, Bella and Edward's first kiss is the most awkward first kiss I've ever seen. It's more awkward than my first kiss was. Actually, my first kiss wasn't that bad, but I'm just saying, it's like two 12-year-olds saw somebody kissing in a movie and they decided to try it, and it didn't work out quite that well. That's what it feels like, and these two individuals are 17 years old. One of them is an immortal who's been alive for, I think it's 70 years, and you want to tell me that Edward's never kissed anybody before? Seriously? But and the movie just has a way of dragging on, and then they're like, oh shit, we don't have a conflict in this movie other than, well, I really want to be with you. You can't be with me. I'm dangerous. I'm not the hero, I'm the monster. That's like the main conflict in the movie, and they're like, oh crap, we don't have an actual antagonist that Edward can fight. And this antagonist is kind of shoved in there at the last minute during the baseball scene, and all of a sudden there's a vampire that wants to kill Bella because, again, she smells good. Because that's what's most important, is how a girl smells. And Edward has to save her. I will say this about Bella. A lot of people have criticized her for being a very bland character, and I was able to find out there are like little snippets of where she has interesting moments in this movie. Like the fact that she likes cars and that she's socially awkward. And I'll give her this, she tries to fight for herself at times. Like when she gets mugged at the beginning of the movie, she actually kicks a guy in the nuts and fights back. And then later on in the film, when a vampire is trying to kill her, she does fight back. She maces the guy, even though she knows she can't actually hurt him. And she knows she doesn't necessarily beg for her life either, and that's a point in Bella's corner. However, the way that she pines after Edward, after he like changes his mind at least 5 times within the first 30 minutes of the movie, it's just like, come on, this isn't. This is like, it's every cliche for a bad romance and an unhealthy relationship. And you know what? Unhealthy relationships, that's life sometimes. And I can see where Stephenie Meyer might have been trying to go that route to sort of pick apart unhealthy relationships and show an example. But I don't know if that's what she was going for in the original book. I actually kind of doubt it, because there are a lot of people that are like, oh, Edward and Bella, I ship them so hard. I literally think that there are people that think that that sort of thing is romantic, and I don't really get that. Man, watching the rest of these is going to be a doozy, that's for sure. I'm still going to read the graphic novels. I'm very much looking forward to reading these. I'm wondering if Stephanie Meyer fixed the narrative problems that Edward and Bella have been accused of having for all of these years. I've wondered if she's addressed that, or if she has even thought about that, or has heard her even her fan base try to tell her that, hey, this doesn't exactly work all that well. So I'm excited to read these. If not, at least the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. So Twilight, I didn't care for it. I tried. I really did. I found a handful of things that I liked, but ultimately it was a chore to watch. It was really painfully boring. So Twilight, have you seen it? What do you think of the book? Comment below. Let me know. I'm excited to talk about the rest of the series. It's going to be interesting. Hang on, Spider Monkey.